Hello, so in this video I'd like to show you a simple but effective way to scale up the size and power of a musical passage using the orchestra. So we will go from just a piano version, then a light orchestral version, and then we will have this light orchestral version build to the full power version here, like you would hear in the climax of a piece. Each version builds on the one before it, so you can see exactly how you would build naturally and gradually from one to the other. Okay, so let's start with the piano version. Okay, let's go straight into the lighter orchestral version, and I will tell you later what I did. Basically, I just played the same melody. The same melody is now played by the violins one and flute, but really you could have any instrument there that sounds good in this range and at these dynamics, and it's fine. And for the chords, I just use the strings ensemble patch, but you could divide it if you want in violins 2 and violas or violas divisi. But here, just using the ensemble patch, as you can see, I only have here they are in 2 and then here they split into 3 notes, but they are just following the notes of the piano and they're just skipping the bass line because I want that to ring. If we also put a sustained string here at these dynamics, it just doesn't sound as good as I found because we cannot, it feels better when you can hear the bass note of the piano ringing. So this is the reasoning behind this one. And okay, so we can go here. We will transition from this version here. And as you can see here, it opens up to a full power orchestral passage. So let's hear it and then I will tell you how I got this. Okay, the most important change is from here on, you see these notes here, these chords here that were done by the strings. Here, the brass takes the chords, okay? And as soon as the brass takes the chords, it just fills up the room, so there's no need for the strings to keep doing the chords. And that's why we can use the 2 lines of strings up here and 2 lines of strings down here. So what we have is violins 1s and 2s in octaves here. And so as you can see, I just went an octave up from before and I still have the 1 down. I also added some choir, but it's just optional, and some woodwinds maybe on this line. Just that's all optional depending how thick you want. I think you want it to sound. And then we have cellos and basses in octaves down here. So it's like a brass sandwich with like octaves on top, octaves on the bottom, and the brass in between. As you see here, I have the violas. The violas are free, right? Because they're not doing the chords anymore. Here we have the violins, and here we have the cellos and basses. So the violas at the end here are just doing this motion, just because the melody is resting, and I have some motion here. So. And as you can hear, there's also some cymbals, just because when the sound of the orchestra becomes so thick, how to say, heavy, then you need especially when there's brass blasting like this, it's good to have some cymbals to open up the sound on the higher end. And yeah, so okay, so as you can see, just by using elements that were already in the piano version, we are able to scale it up to different orchestral scales and power levels, let's say. But it's not really a formula, right? Because of course there are infinite possibilities with the orchestra. But I think this is a good framework to keep in mind and to practice that can really help you wrap your head around scaling the orchestra. Because very often it's doing very similar things to this to scale up in power, especially the brass filling the room and taking the chords and freeing up other instruments to do other things. So starting with this and internalizing this can really help you build the confidence to start experimenting with your own combinations and your more complex and dynamic parts and more parts. So I think this is a great thing to know. So I hope it was useful, and thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.